All right, let's get right into it. Today, we are breaking down a really powerful concept from the entrepreneur Iman Gadzhi. He calls it a cheat code to success, and it's called the Dopamine Detox. We're going to walk through his 7-day guide to hitting a hard reset on your focus. So, let me ask you something. Do you ever feel like you're just stuck? You know, you've got these huge goals, these big ambitions, but for whatever reason, you just can't seem to get any real traction? Well, you're not alone. But what if the reason you're stuck isn't what you think it is? Okay, so if that feeling hits home, let's figure out what's really going on. According to Iman, the actual roadblock holding you back isn't the thing most of us usually blame. And this right here is the heart of the problem. We tell ourselves things like, "Oh, I'm just too tired," or "I don't really know how to do that yet." We blame energy, we blame knowledge, but Gadzhi says those are just symptoms. The real disease, the root cause of it all, is a serious lack of focus. And this quote is the key that unlocks the whole idea. See, focus isn't just another skill you can have, it's the master skill. His point is, when you have that laser-like focus, picking up the know-how becomes, well, kind of easy. It's the foundation that everything else is built on. But here's the catch. Our entire world right now is practically designed to steal that focus from us. I mean, think about it. You've got your phone, your laptop, maybe a tablet, all buzzing and beeping for your attention. We are living in an environment that is actively destroying our ability to concentrate. So, if our environment is basically the enemy of focus, how in the world do we fight back? Well, that's where this whole idea of the dopamine detox comes in. But before we get into the rules, it is absolutely crucial to understand what this is, and maybe more importantly, what it is not. Okay, let's be super clear about this. This is not some new permanent lifestyle you have to adopt forever. Gadzhi frames this as a short, intense, 7-day boot camp for your brain. You got to think of it like hitting the big red emergency reset button on your brain's reward system to get your focus back. Now, to really get how this reset works, we need to talk about something called baseline stimulation. Just think of it as your brain's tolerance for things to be interesting. When you're constantly feeding it high-octane stuff like TikTok, video games, and constant news alerts, that baseline gets jacked way up. And pretty soon, normal, quiet activities just feel boring. This is what it looks like before the detox. Your brain is so overstimulated that trying to do something simple or something difficult feels impossible. You need this constant fire hose of new information just to feel okay, which makes sitting down to do deep, meaningful work almost a non-starter. And this is the magic. This is the after. By just starving your brain of all that intense stimulation for 7 days, you bring that baseline crashing down. And all of a sudden, things that felt like a chore, like reading a book or working on that project, they actually start to feel engaging, even enjoyable. You find pleasure in the work itself again. Okay, so that's the why. Now let's get into the how. Gadzhi's plan is built on 4 pillars. 4 simple but non-negotiable rules for the next 7 days. All right, pillar number 1. This one is probably the biggest, and it's aimed right at the main source of all our modern distractions. That's right, just 1 hour of screen time on your phone per day. That's it. Now for essential work stuff, he suggests a workaround. Use the desktop versions of apps like WhatsApp. But the real goal here is to break that muscle memory, that twitch. We all have to just pick up the phone and start scrolling for no reason at all. Pillar number 2 is even more straightforward. No YouTube, period. And here's the kicker. This includes all those productive self-help videos you love to watch. Because as you're about to see, the platform itself can be a massive trap, no matter what you're watching. This quote just hits the nail on the head. It feels good, right? You watch a video about being successful and you feel like you've made progress, but you haven't actually done anything. It's a sneaky trap that keeps you consuming instead of creating. For these 7 days, you're cutting it out cold turkey. Okay, pillar 3. This one targets another category of that super high dopamine, low effort stuff. First, no 18+ content of any kind. And second, and this is just as important, you have to avoid other kinds of hyper-stimulating digital content. Think endless scrolling through Instagram model accounts. The point is to cut out anything that gives your brain a huge unearned reward, because that stuff just cheapens the whole system. And that brings us to our 4th and final pillar. Now, this one isn't about taking something away, it's about adding a small but incredibly powerful daily habit. Just 10 minutes of meditation a day, that's it. He sets the bar really low on purpose because it's an easy win. It's something you can definitely do. This isn't about becoming a Zen master overnight. It's about actively training your focus muscle, just for a few minutes every single day.
So, you survive the 7 days. What happens then? What does life look like on the other side? Let's talk about the actual results you can expect and, what comes next.
This is the prize. This is what you're working for. Your brain is reset. A simple walk in the park feels amazing. Sitting down to finally tackle that hard project doesn't feel like a chore anymore. It actually feels good, like you're in the zone. You just feel this sense of clarity and that ability for deep, sustained focus that you thought you lost. Yeah, it's back. But look, the detox is just the beginning. It's the shock to the system. Gadzhi then introduces what he calls monk mode as the sustainable follow-up. So if the detox is the intense, strict 7-day reset, monk mode is the less intense system you can use for 21 days or more to really build on that momentum and make huge progress. And if you're wondering if all this effort is worth it, well, listen to this. He claims that by using these periods of deep focus, he gets more done in 6 months than most people do in 3 or 4 years. That is a pretty powerful statement about what's possible when you protect your attention. So, there you have it. We've looked at the problem, the 7-day solution, and the incredible potential on the other side. The only real question left is for you. When you think about those big goals you've been stuck on, is 7 days of discipline worth reclaiming your focus for a lifetime? Are you ready to press that reset button?